It's the JT Cho Show!
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 1.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the JT Show. I'm your host, JT. Today is Cinco de Mayo. For those who listen to this podcast and don't know what that is, it's May 5th, 2020. Glad to have you guys back for Cinco de Mayo. I'm still eating healthy. We're going to talk about Miracle May later, kind of our Sober October ripoff of Joe Rogan Experience. You know, at least I'm admitting it. Some people copy other platforms and don't give credit. And I understand there's different variations and different outlets and stuff that, don't exactly do the same mold. But we are basing this off of Sober October, like we said. We'll get into that. But basically, I've got an 8-hour venison instead of steak. I got an 8-hour venison cooking with spices and all that jazz in the slow cooker. So I'm going to have some steak tacos tonight. I'm going to have to get a workout in to work out them extra carbs. But Cinco de Mayo. I'm not having a Corona, not because, I'm one of those Americans that think the company Corona is, the disease or the virus, not the disease. But I'm not that ignorant, but I'm not. It's Miracle May, Sober October. Let's get into this. So we're living in a world without sports right now. And for a lot of people, they're cranking out TV. Me and my boy Cut, we discuss things like, I think, he discusses things like, I think Tiger King's so popular because everyone's indoors. I think this is popular because everyone's indoors. And everyone's watching everything on Netflix right now. And Chris Hemsworth has that movie out, Extradition or something like that. I'm about 40 minutes through it. It's pretty good so far, but everyone's cranking out media because they're stuck indoors, especially for those ones that you can go outside if you have a yard and stuff, but there's certain people with apartments that, unless they're exercising, they're just stuck in their apartments all day. So, part of our theory during the time that we live in is that, everyone's bored and they're watching Netflix. And this is episode 29, by the way. Usually say that in the beginning, episode 29, but sorry about that. Sorry for your ears. So topics that I'm trying to come up with new topics, new things to talk about. I don't want to be the same boring person. I appreciate if you listen to it. Again, I'm always going to plug my Twitter, my Instagram, JT of Jville. Shoot me messages. Tell me constructive criticism. Tell me things you like. Tell me things you didn't like. I understand this bill's crooked. It's an old hat. It's from 2017 from the Summer League. I'm getting a new hat this year. That's what I'm asking for my birthday. But anywho's, one thing that I wanted to do is I want to break down anime fights, kind of like MMA, I guess. But I want to break down anime fights and give my opinions on it. And this all started out, this whole brainstorming started out when I was sitting on the John. So I'm sitting there, I got my little earbuds in, and I'm scrolling through my timeline because we're past the days where you read, where you're like, oh, look at this shampoo bottle. Oh, man, apply lather rinse for better results. Use with lavender almond oil conditioner. We're over those days. I can't do this. There's some times where you're there's something going on down here in your stomach where you're like, oh, up here. But then your digestion, you're like, oh, I got to go to the bathroom right now, And you're scrambling for your phone because you don't know how long you're going to be in there. Could be years, right? Could be centuries. So you got to have your phone. So I scroll through my YouTube, and there I see Killer Bee versus Sasuke. And I'm like, that's a classic fight. I've got nothing going on right now. I'm going to use the facilities, and I'm going to watch this little anime fight. And then I started to watch it, and I was like, you know what? There's people out there that have never seen this fight, and I would like to kind of explain without too many spoilers or going too far into the plot, kind of what's happening and kind of break it down, not round for round, oh, he hit him with a right hook, oh, he took him to the ground. No, kind of my overall little summary and how it went and who I think wins and stuff like that. So if you like that, please comment. Please tell me if you want more. Tell me if it sucked. Give me a fight that you wanna see. DM me, all that jazz. So Killer Bee versus Sasuke. Now, Sasuke's got this little group called Taka, and I think that's pronunciation. And they're a group that after they went after Itachi and all that jazz, they kind of joined the Akatsuki, and they got tasked to go take down Killer Bee. Now, Killer Bee, a Jinchuriki, he's got the 8 tails, he's got an octopus living inside of him. So, one of the things I really like about Naruto is like the music and like the like when you see this group. So essentially what happens is Killer Bee, he's kind of like chilling, and Sasuke's crew rolls up, and they do a couple stare downs, and they don't really know what to think of him. He raps a lot. He's a character that when he speaks, he's just always rhyming. You fool, you fool. Like I can't do it. It's pretty good though. But I mean, for like his character, I really like it. So, anyways, so this fight starts out, and so you got Sasuke's crew. You got Karen. Fucking Karen. By the way, side note, if you're a Karen or you look like a Karen and you're putting that shit where like don't call me Karen and like saying that shit's fucking ignorant, like the way I'm talking right now, but if you're like one of those people that it's like, I'm tired of this, racist and stuff, because people have said it online, and I'm just like, okay, first of all, if you get called Karen, it's not a racist. Okay, get over yourself. It's a joke. Move on with your day. Quit being so offended. Anyway, so Kareen, you got Soigetsu, you got Jugo. Soigetsu's this guy where his body's like kind of made out of water, and he can like solidify and liquefy. Kareen, she's kind of a support character. She can use chakra. She can sense chakras. So she's kind of like, she's like, he's 20 miles that way and stuff like that. And then Jugo, he's got this curse seal ability to where like there's a lot that goes on with it. He can turn into like this horrifying, really strong monster, and then like you kind of see different things that he can do with it during this fight. So anyways, so Soigetsu starts it out, and he goes right after Killer Bee, and so does Jugo. They get whopped right off the bat, dude. Not even trying, just whop, dude. Killer Bee is just like, dude, don't send your B-list squad after me when I'm the 8 tails. So currently, hold on, I'm watching my neighbors. They're looking at their barn outside. They've been doing a lot of work outside, fixing up this house, but they're right in my views right now. Anyways, so Soigetsu and Jugo, they get whopped right off the bat, and then Sasuke enters, and you kind of get this chill going down your back, and he's like looking at Killer Bee, and he's just kind of like, I want to see if he's strong. I want to see if the rumors are true. I'm Sasuke. I got shit to do, man. Let's go right now. So Sasuke kind of goes into this fight like, hey man, I'm gonna whop this dude, and right off the bat, all he does is just he like negates his attack right off the bat. Sasuke's kind of like taken up on this, and then instead of like counterattacking, he like pulls out his little notebook, and he's just like, hold on, dude, I got this sick ass fire beat right now. I gotta write it down. So he's just writing it down. He uses his pencil as a weapon too. He like throws a little shit on it, but he's just like, oh yeah, dude, just wrote some sick ass rhymes, So Killer Bee, he's not really taking it seriously because he doesn't need to at the start. Then he pulls out 7 swords, and he's kind of holding it like weird, like he's got them tucked into his elbows. But like Sasuke, since he's got a what's it called, a Kekkei Genkai or whatever, he's basically got special eyes that can like read chakra movements and stuff like that. There's a whole lot that goes into it, and if you're a Naruto fan and I'm butchering it, I'm sorry. I've seen the series twice, by the way, but anyways, he's got the Sharingan eyes, right? And Killer Bee's like using all these swords and catching them, and it's very distracting because he's trying to follow everything, but there's 7 swords. He's like, Killer Bee's like attacking, throwing. The cool thing is there's no real wasted movement with Killer Bee. He's twisting, he's spinning, he's jumping, he's throwing. He throws the swords into the ground. He kind of spins into it, picks them up like choreographed almost, to where he knows how to pick them up. And this is all distracting. So like these eyes that are usually just like, honed in, trying to like put a genjutsu, basically like with your eyes you can put yourself into a genjutsu, or I think I'm saying that right. It basically messes with your opponent's mind. Usually it's focused on like, not so many things, and Sasuke's kind of inexperienced at that. And right off the rip, whop, 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 just guts him, just like throws 3 swords into him. Sasuke falls back. His crew kind of intervenes. So Sasuke's down on the ground. Killer Bee comes in for that final KO because he's brutal, man. He ain't got time for this shit, man. He's trying to write some ill lyrics, you know. So he's about to mollywop him, and Soigetsu has to like intervene, put his he's got the God, I can't think of it. He's got Zabuza's blade, the Executioner's blade. So he's got the Executioner's blade. Something that happened a little bit. Let me take this a little bit back. Sasuke, once he gets whopped the first time, he uses Chidori and he uses his chakra. And basically, like chakra, you can manipulate certain elements. And Sasuke's got lightning as an element, and then he's got fire as another element. So Sasuke, he puts his chakra through his blade, and Killer Bee can do the same thing. So everyone's like, oh my god, more than one person can do that? You're like, dude, come on, it's Killer Bee. Anyways, so we fast forward, Killer Bee gets stopped by Soigetsu, and he's just like, I'm gonna lightning through the Executioner's blade, which kind of hurts my heart a little bit, because the Executioner blade is badass. Kakashi using it is badass. Zabuza using it is badass. Super dig it. One of my favorite looking swords. It's from the original Naruto show. I really like that a lot. But so he stops him. Jugo comes out of nowhere, just mollywops him. So Killer Bee like gets hit. Sasuke's like kind of down on the ground. They take out his swords. Now Karin, she has an ability where she can have Sasuke like bite her anywhere on her body. She loves it, by the way. It's a little kinky. It's weird, but it's anime, so get used to it. So Sasuke gets heal numero uno, okay? Cinco de Mayo. So Sasuke gets healed once, and got a new match on Tinder, okay? I'm not dating anyone through the coronavirus. I just got the update. I'm not even going to check it. Anyways, so Sasuke, this is heal number 1 for Sasuke. So now he's like, oh shit, dude, this guy's pretty good at stuff. So Killer Bee kind of like escapes. Karin uses her special jutsu against the support character, not a real fighter. She does have some abilities. I'm not knocking her, but she's support cast for this group. So he's over there behind this rock, and Killer Bee's like, yo, man, let's go. So he embraces the Eight Tails form that Sasuke has previously seen in Naruto in the original series when they have that epic showdown. So again, if you like that, I can break down different fights. That's also one of the better fights. And for that fight, I would like to watch it uncut. I would have to watch it uncut, take notes, break it down. So again, if you like, subscribe, comment. You don't have to do any, like, even if you tune in, you don't want to subscribe and all that shit, just tune in and comment, text me, DM me, tell me I suck. I don't care. I like doing things like this. So they catch up with important text. They catch up with Killer Bee. He uses the 8-tail form, and now he's like a lot faster. Makes him a lot more strong. It makes him a lot more stronger. Makes him more stronger. Again, my English teacher would kill me. Sorry, I just never paid attention. Anyways, so at this point, there was a point in this fight where Jugo and Soigetsu, they're like, oh, let's attack them together, and then like Killer Bee like punches Soigetsu. He uses his liquid body. Sasuke comes with the Chidori, hits him, and then Jugo comes in for the final KO. Killer Bee's like nowhere. So then they find him, and he's hiding over here. They go after him, and Sasuke uses this Genjutsu. I don't know why I can't say that. Anyways, he uses it. Killer Bee's like, oh no, I'm stuck. So Sasuke's like, damn, dude, I'm fucking tired, man. Like, glad I got that done. So there's certain ways to break this, like, mental, like, fuckery. Like, when someone puts you in a Genjutsu, I can't say it. Fuck it. I'm not going to say it anymore. Anyways, when someone puts you in this, Genjutsu. Anyways, when someone puts you in this, there's ways of breaking it. One way is having somebody else help you break it, so someone can put their chakra into your body to disrupt like the things that they're doing, and like it can get you out of it. And it's a lot more complex than that. And again, fuck off. But just kidding. I love you. But anyways, he's got the 8 tails, and when you have the 8 tails in you, that's like a beast, and it lives in your tummy, okay? And he's this octopus, and he's like this living creature. And since Killer Bee is a Jinchuriki, which is a host of a tailed beast, which are these fucking ginormous creatures that the villages have fought over for probably more than 100 years for power, and we're not going to get into that, but he's got this big-ass fucking dude that lives in his stomach. He's a giant octopus, bowl-looking thing, and he's like, hey, like, dumbass, like, you know, step up. Now, while this is happening, Sasuke's kind of like, oh, man, I'm fucking whooped, dude, and he's, like, covering his eyes and shit because, you know, using your eyes like that really tires you out and uses a lot of chakra. Out of nowhere, Sasuke gets whopped with a lariat, dude. Just bam, dude. And if you've ever seen the lariat, by the way, like it's look, I'm not ripped, but he just takes this forearm and he jabs that right into his chest, and the lariat is this move to where if it's used with another character in the show, which I'm not going to reveal right now, it just takes people's heads off. It's like it's a 1-2 wham bam, thank you ma'am, see you later dog. It's dope. So the lariat hits Sasuke like right in the chest. He was not expecting that, and so Sasuke again, he's down, he's out. That's KO number 2, right? If we're doing professional boxing, there's one more flag. There's not flag. There's one more allowed before the referee calls the fight TKO. So Sasuke gets mollywopped twice. Now this time, it's a bit more serious, and you learn this new ability by Jugo where he kind of pours his cursed steel form into Sasuke. He becomes like a younger person, so he like loses age. So he appears to be younger, and Sasuke gets healed up. So twice he's been whopped by Killer Bee, underestimated. So Killer Bee kind of, he's like, okay, you know, let's go right now. So he embraces, you see a new form, you really haven't seen it before, you've never seen it from the main character. He embodies, he's got this like mad respect for each other. That's kind of how it works. I'm just going to sum it up. They're on the same page. One's not trying to take over the other. They're both like, you know, we're here, let's work together and let's be badass. So he basically becomes this giant bull octopus creature with crazy power. So Igetsu kind of tries to fight him, jumps in the water, becomes giant, doesn't really work out. So Sasuke hits him with the wham bam. He hits him with the Amaterasu. So he hits him with this, basically it's a black flame that you create with your eyeball. I know, people, if you've never watched this before and you're fucking like, I hate Taylor, why is he talking about this? So he hits him with this black flame that can never be extinguished. So now this giant-ass bull's raging. He's on fire, and he tries to mollywop Sasuke with one of his tentacles, which are giant. And Sasuke just cuts it in half with lightning. That sinks to the bottom of the fucking river, lake, whatever they're on. It's a lake. And basically Sasuke's like, oh, okay, he's fucking burned up to a crisp. I'm going to take away the flames. And boom, we capture Killer Bee. They get away. Now, what really happens is Killer Bee, he's like, I'm fucking done here. I don't want to fight this guy anymore. And he actually uses a substitution jutsu to where that tentacle that got cut off was actually Killer Bee. Killer Bee escapes, and then he uses his powers to transform a tentacle into a look-alike, and they capture the look-alike, and it's not really Killer Bee, and Sasuke looks like a little bitch. So, breakdown of this fight, Sasuke fucking loses twice, okay? He's not a victor. He gets whopped twice, and the only reason he made it that far is because he had a supporting cast. Now, I understand that different people have a supporting cast in the show, but without that supporting cast, Sasuke's story would have fucking died right there. Like, he went into that fight, and he was just like, I'm going to underestimate the fuck out of this guy, and you saw it happen. So, it's kind of my breakdown of that fight. Killer Bee, clearly the winner here twice. Mad respect for that character, kind of gets glanced over by some fans, but that's one of my more favorite fights. And if you like this again, I can do a whole episode about my favorite fights, break down like my top 10, sort of like people have been breaking down their top 5 since Michael Jordan documentary came out, because that's all we're watching. We have no sports, and everyone's watching, the Michael Jordan documentary, and they're basically like throwing out their top 5, and people are throwing shade at each other, and you're learning a lot. And I've still lost no respect for Michael Jordan. takes a sickness to win all those championships, and you got to do it one way or another. You're not going to do it sometimes by being the nice guy. So I'm on episode 4 right now. I understand 2 more came out. I'm going to watch those 2 before Sunday, or 3, and then watch 2 more. So I'm going to load my Sunday with probably a lot of MJ documentary. The Last Dance, The Final Dance, whatever the fuck it's called. I've been swearing a lot. I don't know why. So other things that I've been doing through this quarantine, you'll see my little screenshot if you pull up the YouTube, the little thumbnail. It's me holding some flowers. I've actually started today. Today was day 3. Sunday was the first day. I've started my vegetable garden. I researched how to build the vegetable beds, which have to be built within 6 weeks. And right now I'm starting the initial process for these plants by planting them in pods, monitoring them. In Michigan, we're having 3 frost days this week, so I'm still in season for when I need to plant these plants. But it sucks I have to wait this long because Michigan gets really cold still in May in the morning. Today I wore a winter jacket. I wore a sweater and a winter jacket. Not proud of that. It's May 5th. It's Cinco de Mayo. I've been outside in New Mexico on Cinco de Mayo. I've been outside in New Mexico in January with shorts and a t-shirt, okay? And so basically having to wear a winter jacket today was kind of like a slap in the face, which is one good thing why the trip that Cut was planning in April, it got canceled, but he would have had to be in a winter jacket the whole week, and he would have been like, it fucking sucks here, Michigan, California's better. So I hear it all the time, okay? He talks about it all the time. He talks about how California is the greatest state ever. I don't mind Michigan. I know I'm going to have to move if my career embellishes, which it probably never will. But eventually, I'll probably have to move. Now, I would love to have this house still as a home base, but I know once the ball gets rolling, sometimes you have to give up things you like. I know this is my first home. I really like it. But eventually, if I do get picked up somewhere and I am doing other things, I might have to move. But, Michigan, it's a great place to live, great place to visit. Definitely go check it out. Pierre, Michigan, all that jazz. A challenge that we're doing for May, I know I talked about it last week, we're calling it Miracle May. Basically, on my last day of April, I ate like shit. I ate a large pizza. I had Buffalo Wild Wings. I did everything I wanted to do. I ate like shit. I weighed like 231. I weighed like 231 stepping on the scale. Basically, we count our days from 6 a.m. to 6 a.m. because we started in May at 6 a.m. because of the time difference. So this challenge ends June 1st at 6 a.m. So basically what I've been doing and what Cut's been doing, we've been monitoring what we've been eating, and he's using an app, and I'm going old school on a piece of paper. Why? I understand. He's explained how his app works. I don't know exactly what app he's using. I forgot. He did tell me, but there's thousands of apps. He's tracking everything in this app, and it tells him how healthy it is for his heart and all this other jazz, and it's got a bunch of like really important information. For me, I don't need all that. I'm just writing it down every day. I write down today's date, initial weight. I weigh myself twice a day. I weigh myself in the morning, and I weigh myself before I go to bed. Now I count my calories. I'm strictly on water and coffee right now. I haven't bought any juices yet. I've been straight on water and coffee. It's not like no alcohol and all that other jazz. But I haven't drank pop. I was gonna drink a pop on April 30th or 31st, 30th, but I didn't want one. I'm gonna have a pop on my birthday when I turn the dirty 30, and then I think from then on, I almost just want to pop once a year. I might just have one pop once a year on my birthday. I felt way better without it, but I know I've talked about it, but basically every day, I buy bananas in colors, okay? So I've bought some greens, some light greens into yellows, and some yellows, And one of the things that has helped me is not having all that junk food to like constantly apply. Like sometimes I'm fucking starving. I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh man, dude, like I'm so fucking hungry. But I don't have like junk food to eat at the house. I have like grapes. I've been eating a lot of grapes. Grapes are 2 calories a piece. Never knew that. Bananas, I think, are $1.05. But I've been eating a lot of bananas, a lot of grapes, and then everything that I've been cooking, like I'm still eating carbs. I'm trying to go lighter on carbs, but I'm not excluding them. I'm not going on a specific diet. I'm just trying to stay in a range of calories under 2,000 a day, and so far it's been working. And, I'm happy with the results. Today is Cinco de Mayo, so again, I'm going to have tacos today, but I'm cooking them from scratch. They're going to be venison tacos. It's kind of, it's one of my more favorite recipes. We're going to have like a little Mexican day for food-wise when Cut gets here, where he's going to make his special rice. He's going to make his chicken tacos. I'm going to make my steak tacos, and we're going to pick out. Now, when this is over, I'm not going to go back to, I'm going to be eating cans of Pringles a day and stuff like that. I don't want to do that. I want to like learn from this. I want to take notes from this experience, and then I want to like live a healthier life. I want a bag of chips every now and then, but right now I'm just excluding them out of my diet whatsoever. I'm not really calling it a diet. I'm just not eating sugars. I'm not eating, like, not all sugars. Like right now I got the Starbucks creamer in. It's 10 calories for the amount that I use. So this coffee right here is 10 calories. And I write it down on my little piece of paper. I add them up at the rest of the day. And like the other day, I was at like 990 calories. I had like 75 grapes, 2 bananas, an English muffin, an egg. And I ended up cooking another egg. And I put it on another English muffin just to get over 1,000 calories. I'm eating a lot of food, but I'm not eating a lot of junk food. Like you go to McDonald's and you can eat one meal and that's like 1,200 calories. And you can eat healthy and you can eat a lot more food. That's mind-blowing to me, by the way. But I mean, I knew it, but like when you see it. But anyways, there's certain times where I'm like, man, I'm a little bit hungry, but like I don't how do I put this in the words? I'm not mad that I'm hungry. I'm actually like a little happy that I'm not just shoving food into my face like I usually do. So I know we're only 5 days in, and you're like, oh, I thought you were going to do this diet earlier. I know I talked about this diet. So the 80-20 diet, I don't disagree with. A lot of the recipes are weird. I don't want to cook them, and I'm not really a picky eater, but there's a lot of things where I'm like, yo, this one meal right here cost me like $15 for one meal. And I ain't about to spend $15 on one meal. Okay? I don't got the money for that. So I read through the book, not like completely cover to cover, but I read their nutrition. I read the nutrition facts. I looked at the recipes. They have like a small little workout guide. It's a pretty good book. And there's things that I take from it and I implement it in the life that I'm living today. So Miracle May, #Miracle May. We're day 5 into it. Cinco de Mayo. So far, I'm not going to say how much I've lost because, what if I cap off at like 10 pounds, I don't want to be like, oh, I lost this much this week and 3 pounds the rest of the month. I want to like, at the end, I'll be like, this is how much I weighed, this is how much I weigh now, and then incorporate it. And then I think I'm going to try to like keep embellishing what I'm doing. Of course, when Cut visits, it's going to be a cheat week, okay? We're going to get Saucy Dogs. Okay, if you haven't been to Saucy Dogs, okay, go to Saucy Dogs. Jonesville, Michigan. But we're going to go to Saucy Dogs. Probably going to go to Kalamazoo, see Earl. Going to have a good time. Going to pig out. We're going to get some pizza, all this other jazz. But as of right now, the way that Miracle May is going, it's kind of like an eye-opener. It's like, wow, I could be doing this more and more. And, it's kind of different because you're like, man, I like for instance today, social distancing. I haven't really seen my parents a whole lot. I do have like a good relationship with my parents. I talk to them on the phone a lot, but they were coming into town. I saw them, and I was like, hey, let me get you $5. I forgot the coffee creamer, so they picked me up some coffee creamer today. They dropped it off, and they had they bought like little boxed ice cream. They're like, hey, here's an ice cream. Here's this dark chocolate Dove Par. And on the box, I could see that's 300 calories. And I was like, I could afford that. But then I'm eating one less taco later. And I was like, look, that's a lot of sugar. It's ice cream. I haven't had ice cream in 5 I did have a pint of ice cream, by the way. I had a coffee, pint of ice cream on the, I forget the brand, but I ate that on my last day. But I was like, man, I really, it's like a slap in the face not taking a free ice cream. And I was like, look, I'm doing this for me. So sorry, I'm not gonna eat that ice cream. But it was nice of them. Threw them some cash and they got me some coffee creamer. He's like, this is expensive, and I was like, yeah, but it's a really good creamer. I like it. So, that's where I'm at with life and that. So now one of my lengthier topics that I want to talk about. Oh, right here. I want to talk about the Packers' schedule. Now, Thursday, which is in 2 days, the Packers, as well as every NFL team, will release the entire schedule from when you're playing, who on what date and when, if the NFL season starts at the original time. Now, I've looked at the teams that the Packers play. Of course, you've got the NFC North. You've got the Bears, you've got the Lions, and you've got the Vikings. Okay? That's 6 games total. That's 6 games where you need to dominate so you can try to make it into the playoffs. Now, depending on how the Bears do, realistically, I would like to see the Packers go 2-0 against the Bears. I would like to see the Packers go 2-0 against the Lions. The Vikings, I think they'll split this year. I think they'll go 1-1. The Vikings will lose at home. The Vikings will lose at Green Bay, and Green Bay will lose at in Minnesota. So, out of the NFC North, and again, what credit do I have? What? Why are you an expert? I'm not. This is what I would like to see. Looking at what the Bears are doing right now, they're not offering Mitch Trubisky the money for they're not offering him his extension year. So he's either going to have a career year, or they're going to be at turmoil with, do we go with our backup Foles now, or do we is Mitch having a good year? I think with all that jazz going on, and people are going to be pointing fingers at this point. This is my prediction. Okay, prediction. But the Bears could be in a lot of trouble. Okay, they realistically they could be in a ton of trouble if they start bickering and pointing fingers and all that jazz. If you're in the Bears organization, don't listen to this next part. But if you put all your shit to the side and focus on the game, I think you guys can have a good season. I hope you do. I'm a Packers fan. By the way, about 2 weeks ago, I matched with this chick on Tinder, and she's like, "Why do you got to be a Green Bay fan?" "Oh, I'm a Bears fan." And I was just like, "Oh, I met some Bears fan. Bates, guy that I met in the military, big Bears fan. A lot of respect for him. We got along just fine. We give each other the razzle and dazzle here and here. The Packers lost. I hate the Packers. I fucking hate the Packers." And I would just be like, "Yeah, dude, I understand why." And dude, she just I didn't mind because all my friends talk shit. Okay, I grew up getting shit talked. Okay, getting that thick skin. So she's like, "Aaron Rodgers is such a bitch," and I was like, "Oh, why?" And then she's just like, "Oh, he's just a terrible person off the field." And I was like, "No, like, what are you basing this off of?" She was basically repeating information that she didn't do any research on. She's basically taking headlines and ESPN shit and articles and just like, "Did you wait that?" And that's not a way to like read a counter argument. One of my arguments for Aaron Rodgers is, he really keeps his life private. So she's trying to roast me about Aaron Rodgers, and I was like, again, this is all speculation. We don't know what's going on in the locker room. Like you just had, I forget what player it was, but a player just came out and defended Aaron Rodgers and be like, "Dude, this guy's not going after coaches." And there's articles that come out this is a slap in the face of Aaron Rodgers and the draft and everybody and all this stuff. And she's just basically taking summaries and trying to hit me with it. And I'm just like, again, the season hasn't started. Who knows? Who knows, man? And I'm sad we didn't get a wide receiver. And there's still plenty of time to do a bunch of stuff. And the NFL season hasn't started yet. But right now, it's not even, there's not even spring training camp. Okay, so basically at this point in time, I'm just chilling. Okay, I'm paying attention to what's going on in the NFL, but I'm straight chilling. Andy Dalton to the Cowboys. I think that's hilarious. I hope he takes Dak's starting position, because Dak's gonna be like, "Hey, I'll take that $35 million now," and they're gonna be like, "Andy Dalton over here taking way less." And so So she was trying to roast me, and I was like, look, like, what are you basing this off of? And she couldn't like exactly tell me. And then I was like, look, I know you hate Aaron Rodgers. I love Jay Cutler and I love Mitch Trubisky. And she's like, I bet you do because you guys win all the time, and that's why I love them. So I was giving her a little roast back, and then she didn't like that. She didn't like that she couldn't get under my skin, and so she just removed me. So no harm, no foul. I'm ugly. Who cares? Get over it. Let's get back on topic. So Packers schedule comes out Thursday, the teams that we're playing this year. Okay, you got the, I'm going to put a little thing on, I'll probably tweet it so you can see it on my Twitter, which is JT of JBill. Man, sore today. I slept on the couch for a nap. So basically on this list, you're going to see from top to bottom, you're going to see a green box, you're going to see some red lines, some blue lines, and some mixtures of two. So the green means that Green Bay must win these games, okay? The blue means that it's going to be a very tough game for Green Bay to win, and the red lines are possible losses for Green Bay. And I'm going to break it down why I think up to this moment. I know I don't have like the schedule in front of me and how the momentum rides and what's the home stretch and all that other jazz. And there's certain things that happen in a season to where there's certain things that happen in a season where that was weird. I don't know if you heard that. I hope you didn't. Kind of did this little audio lag thing. But there's certain things in a season where, like, if you're on the road, you're having a bad road stretch, tons of shit can happen. The season hasn't started yet, and the schedule hasn't come out yet. But these are my initial predictions. And we're going to start from top to bottom. So the Colts, Falcons, Panthers, and Jaguars, okay? Those are 4 must-win games for Green Bay. Okay, so if my prediction and my high hopes that the Packers win 5 of 6 in the division, okay? They went undefeated last year. I know there's some tomfoolery at the end, but they did win all their games last year. I hope the Packers can win 5 games this year. Now, the Colts, the Falcons, the Panthers, and the Jaguars are all kind of teams that are still putting the pieces together. I know the Jags made a pretty far push a couple years ago. The Panthers are starting a new quarterback. The Falcons still have Matt Ryan, but, I mean, come on, man. His time's limited, just like Aaron Rodgers. And the Colts are the Colts, we saw them last year, but those are 4 must-win games for Green Bay. So let's say Green Bay wins those 4 games. That's 9 wins. Oh, those are my 9 wins for Green Bay right off the rip. So, 2 Bears, 2 Lions, 1 Vikings, 4 out-of-division games. The Packers have 9 wins right there. Now, Tennessee. Mark Henry is a goddamn beast, and the Packers could not stop the run game against San Francisco. Hopefully this year they do something, because the yards before contact, again, I don't look up stats. I don't want to pretend like I know things. If I ever got on a professional sports show, like let's say I got invited and they're like, oh, let's talk about sports. Of course I'm going to do the research. But this is the JT show where we just ramble on about a bunch of bullshit, and thanks for listening. Like, subscribe, comment, blah, blah, blah. So Tennessee has a quarterback that kind of just puts it on autoplay and gives it to Mark Henry, and Tannehill, you can probably put a different quarterback than Tannehill in, and you'll probably have the same results, if not better. So I labeled that as a tough game and a possible loss. I think Green Bay, if they can stop the run, they'll definitely win, but Mark Henry is a goddamn savage. So it's going to be extremely hard to stop Mark Henry. The next game I want to talk about is the Eagles. Again, the Eagles, they have they have a team that can play very well, but at the same time they have a team that can play like shit. Like 1 week the Eagles look like a complete team. Last year you saw it. 1 week they're like unstoppable. Their offense is crazy, and then the next week it's like Wentz, have you ever thrown a fucking football ever? No, it looks like shit. And then their defense just takes games off. The Eagles are one of those organizations to where their fan bases gets pissed on everything. You just won a Super Bowl 2 years ago. Stop getting so mad, man. Like, you're still like up there, sort of. But to me, that is a tough game still. But it's a must win. You got to beat the Eagles. Okay, they lost against the Eagles last year. You got to come back. You got to beat the Eagles this year. Now the Saints, they're a great team. As a possible loss, Drew Brees is Drew Brees. They've got a deep roster. Sean Payton's a great head coach, great team. I think the Saints is a tough matchup against the Packers. So that's why I labeled that red for a possible loss. The Buccaneers, Tom Brady, Gronk, Mike Evans, they've got a fantastic roster. They've got Tom Brady under center. If we can pull it off, we're going to do a cool-ass reunion where we're going to get Duckett and Guck and Gray Bars and Cut and me. We're going to all go to Florida. We're going to go to this game and spend like $9 million just to see the Saints play the Bucs play the Packers because it's in Florida. That's my dream. If that could happen, that'd be badass. But of course, Cut will be repping his Tom Brady shit. I'll be repping my Aaron Rodgers shit. Gray Bars will probably troll and buy a Tom Brady jersey and wear that. But that'd be a really fun. I had a great time in Florida. I went to the St. Pete area, and then I was in Tampa as well. Great time down there. But that's a tough matchup, okay? And it's the GOAT versus the second GOAT. It's Tom Brady versus Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is the most athletic quarterback you've ever seen. Tom Brady's got 6 championships. So when it comes down to it, Tom Brady wins in the playoffs, which is when it matters. He's clutch. He knows what it's doing. He understands the game. He's the GOAT. Shut the fuck up if you think otherwise. Tom Brady's the GOAT. Aaron Rodgers is the second GOAT. He's the... unless Aaron Rodgers plays for 5 more seasons and win 5 Super Bowls in a row... I mean, I know that's unrealistic. I'm not saying, Aaron Rodgers isn't talented, but 5 in a row with you drafting a fucking quarterback in the first round, how many years does he have left? I don't know. But let's say that's the only way that Aaron Rodgers could possibly claim that title, okay? Until a quarterback comes out and wins 7 in his career, I don't think Tom Brady really falls off. You can get all the stats you want, but he's got a ton of stats and a ton of rings. So again, Buccaneers labeled with red marker, possible loss. The Texans have had they've had a weird trade draft thing going on with them to where people are like, what the fuck are you doing? I understand that feeling as a Packers fan, but everything has a reason, and it might work out, it might not. That's a tough matchup. Great defense, great starting quarterback, Deshaun Watson. He's a beast. It's a tough matchup, but it's a must-win. You can't lose against with your opponents. That's one game that you have to win, depending on what time of the year it is, because you could lose against Tennessee, and you could lose against the Eagles, and you could lose against the Saints, and you could lose against the Bucs. And the team we haven't talked about yet is San Francisco, who's still rebuilding, who's still in that fucking window, and they're still trying to get back to that Super Bowl again, and they demolished you. They whooped your ass in the NFC Championship game. It was really sad to see. But that's a must-win for Green Bay. So my prediction as of Cinco de Mayo, I don't know why I said it like that, but my prediction for Cinco de Mayo is the Packers hopefully go 10-6, realistically go 9-7. They went 13-3 last year, but I think that there's, that's my prediction. Hopefully, if I go 16-0, if I was 100% biased for the Packers right now, I would say 6-0 in your division, so that's 6 wins. 4 against the 4 against the Colts, Falcons, Panthers, and Jags. So right now you're already sitting at 10 wins for the season. Probably 12-4 if I'm 100% biased, as much as I could be without being unrealistic, because San Francisco's super fucking tough. Tennessee's tough, Saints are tough, and Bucs are tough. Those are 4 tough games. So my prediction, 10-6. My hopes, 12-4. Let's see if we can get back to where we're going, because Aaron Rodgers has limited time, apparently. It's going to be sad if he leaves Green Bay, but again, I will buy wherever he goes. But that's my prediction. That's sort of a bigger part of today's podcast. I also, if you're still tuned in, thanks for tuning in. T-shirts, like I said, I'm going a different route. I'm paying some people. I'm looking up, there's a site where you can have people design stuff, and it's pretty cheap. It's not too expensive, but I am sending T-shirts out realistically, probably within, I'm going to get them in June, and then they're going to be going out to the fan bases in middle of June or late June. So, I want to make money off of merchandise, but I don't have a fan basis yet. So what I want to do right now is just market it. So the people that I've reached out to and the people that subscribe early, comment like, hey man, I would love a t-shirt. All I want you to do is pay the shipping and handling, because I'm already fronting like $200 to $400 for all these shirts. Is my estimate. I don't know how many I'm going to order yet. I've still got to order in bulk, but so if you want a shirt, just tweet me like, hey, I'd love a JT Show shirt. Just wear it. I'm thinking about throwing a little QR code on there so you can scan it and boom, pops up. There's my shit. So if you want a shirt, hit me up. Tell me you want a shirt. If I've already told you like, hey, I'm going to ship you a shirt, you don't need to. But I just, my friends do watch it. Pepper and V, they watch it. Gray Bars watches it. Cut dabbles. But basically, I know Prather dabbles too. But if you want a shirt, just hit me up in the comments. But just pay the shipping and handling, because I can't front X amount of money then pay another $100 in shipping, because I'm not made of money. Okay, not made of it. I'm made of gingivitis. So there's the update on shirts. I know last week's episode was really short. I kind of want to go into that a little bit. Basically what happened was, because of the coronavirus, I'm not going to tell you exactly what happened, because it's kind of sensitive information, but everyone kind of gets affected by this virus differently. And there's things in my life that were happening that were in the moment very important. And I understand I was doing a podcast and it was very unprofessional of me, but I couldn't get it off my mind. Like basically the people that I was talking to about the thing that I was talking about, they were all at that moment putting in input about the certain situation that we're all in as a group. And I needed to interact live during that so we can bounce ideas, because things were happening that we couldn't stop and are still happening. So I had to stop the podcast. I didn't want to just reshoot another 40 minutes, and I got very distracted, and I apologize. Okay, I'm sorry, fans. I got distracted. Things happen. I'm going to try to not let that happen anymore. But all I want to let you know is thank you for the support. Thank you for listening. Again, if I'm going to promote my other friends, Nick Minerath, professional basketball player, plays overseas, the Cape Cod Kid podcast. Episode 4 dropped today. It might have dropped yesterday. Talks about his first year in his pro career. Pretty good episode. Talks about some of the funnier things that happened to him during his first year. He talks about the lifestyle and everything that happens to him. And I will say, he talks about the plane ride from America, I believe it was to France, and it was 8 hours. I've been on that plane ride, and it sucks. And one of the biggest differences, where I landed after 8 hours, they had no food, realistically. And then where we stopped between the next part and the next part, it was because of the time zone, nothing was open. So we were just sitting there, not being fed from the airplane, because I was on an airplane at one point for 16 hours total with a 2-hour break. We had a layover in Germany. It does suck. And he explains, he explains that he does he did a stress test for one of his organizations that he played for right off the plane, essentially. And I couldn't imagine trying to perform athletically while you feel like shit, because traveling does beat you up. I know you're just sitting there, but traveling's pretty rough on the body. So again, Cape Cod Kid podcast, go check it out. Great dude, cool insights, all that jazz. Go check out, of course, Joe Rogan Experience. There's already millions of people. I don't need to tell people. Two Bears, One Cave. I listen to that. I also listen to a few. I dabble in a few more here and there, but realistically, I'm actually trying to catch up on TV shows. Because again, I've been gardening more. I've been looking up stuff, recipes. I've been trying to get skinnier. I'm losing weight. I've been using that motivation. And I've been playing a lot of video games. We almost smacked the dub last night, but we got gypped right at the end. So I'm going to be streaming tonight, by the way. I know people won't listen to me. I gotta go. I'm going to share that social media on Twitter, JTFJPhil. I'm going to press that shit all the time. Because again, eventually I would like this to be my thing, you know, like do a podcast, be a professional comedian. That's my fucking life's dream, okay? Right now I'm telling you, that's my fucking life's dream. I write all the time. Everything's at a standstill. I know I'm not good yet. I know I've got a long way to go, but you got to put in the time, okay? And I'm trying to fucking put in the time, and that's my fucking ambition right there. And like, I've got some other ideas right now. Like right now, from listening to something, I've got a side project in my fucking head that I'm like, next year, this is what I want to do for a week. And I'm not going to tell you what that is because it's super early and I got to talk to the right people first. But I want to do an hour-long special on something professionally, edit, interview, travel, 1 hour. If you want to know about it realistically, I can tell you off air. But in my head, I got this idea and I wrote it down. And, I also, by the way, I had this idea the other day. I'm not going to tell you what this idea is either, but it was for a certain company. And so I thought of this idea while playing video games, and I typed up a page summary, and I was going to submit it to this company. Now, in the process of reading how to submit ideas, they actually don't take ideas from unsolicited people like myself. They are like, if you send this to us still, you get no money, and we take all the profit, and we own your idea now. And that is very like that company that I wanted to write this idea into. No, not knocking. That's just the way they roll. But I get these ideas, and I'm like, this is a good idea, I think, and, But this next one, hopefully next year, 2021, what's coming next? It's the Mad Hornets. What's in June? But hopefully things get back to normal. I get to travel to where I want to go, and then I do the thing that I want to do. So that's like a long-term project. Still writing. Once stand-up opens up again, hopefully I can get back out there, deliver some of my newer material at open mic nights. I'm hoping to go to Cali and Sacramento at some point and do a little bit of stand-up for some open mic nights out there when I visit Cut in December. I'm in Alaska, so Pepper and V, if you're listening, hit me up with some comedy clubs. I would definitely love to do like 10 minutes in front of you guys. I don't care if I suck. I know you guys want to see it. You want to see me bomb, but hopefully I'd show you that I can fucking kill. But that's it. That's going with me. I'm JT. This is the JT Show, episode 29. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for listening. Again, please comment, dude. Just tell me how I did. Tell me what you like. Tell me if you didn't like the anime shit. Hit me up off air, on social media, whatever. You know how to get a hold of me. But again, thanks for tuning in, guys. Have a blessed rest of your Cinco de Mayo. Eat all the fucking tacos and put some lime on it and drink your Coronas. Pacifico. Go get Pacifico, okay? Pacifico is the superior drink for Cinco de Mayo, personally, I think, for beer. So go get that. But thanks again for tuning in for the JT Show. I'm your host, JT. Signing out, Captain Slug.